Hi, this is Rob Krieger at Red Rock Golf Instruction here at Southgate, and we are going to give you a little bit more information on the article that I wrote about golf myths that was in View On Magazine for the fall edition. The reason golf myths are out there is because a lot of times you've either read something in a magazine, one of your playing partners is trying to be helpful to try to help you so you don't struggle so much. But there are a few things that people say or possibly written about that cause a little bit of confusion, in which really they're met with good initiative, but at the same time they sometimes can cause more problems than help. So the first one, and it's one of my biggest pet peeves, it's keep your head down. When you try to swing the club, and you try to swing, and as the club comes down, typically as you strike the golf ball, your right shoulder or your trail shoulder should be right about to here, and then bring your body up. The problem is, as you go to hit a golf ball, if your head's coming up, sometimes it's because your hands have started too soon, too much right hand, or you're trying to get your body going too far, too much too soon. There's a lot of reasons why people can't keep their head down. And it's not an easy one to fix. That's why you need to see your local professional, your swing coach, whomever, determine why your head is coming up. If you start to swing the club and the club starts to come down too soon, your body has to move in this position and start to raise up because the club's moving faster than the body. It outraces it. So now all of a sudden the body's got to pull up, along comes the head and everything else. And that's where people say, well, you're just not keeping your head down. That's not really the cause of the bad shot. The cause of the bad shot was something that happened before the club came down and struck the ball. It forced the body to pull up. So hitting the ball with your head moving up is not the problem. It's something else in your swing. So try to correct why the club is coming down too fast and what's pulling you up. Take care of that issue and the head should stay down. Like I said, as you go to swing the club should be right about to here, and then the shoulder brings the head and the body up as you finish forward. The next one is keep your head still. I hear this all the time. People don't realize that as you swing a club, when your weight transfers back to your back foot, your head's going to shift a little bit. And then as you go through, your head will start to come down. It'll move back towards this imaginary line here. And as you get to that point, your head should still be behind the golf ball. And as you strike it, it should continue to go through. But many times, people try to keep their head still. And what they wind up doing is putting their weight on their front foot. And as they start to come down, their head gets in front of the golf ball, and then it pulls them up. Again, that may be one of the reasons why you can't keep your head down, but trying to keep your head still isn't necessarily true. If you're just going to leave your weight on your front foot, just make sure it's behind the golf ball, and then as you strike the golf ball, then you can release it. But if you start to get to here, and your head gets in front, then your head's in front of the golf ball, you're going to wind up falling backwards. The next myth that I hear a lot is, well, Rob, I need to move the ball back in my stance. Everyone says, as the clubs get different lengths and everything, I need to move it back. Well, the problem with that is, as you do that, and that's why I had these golf balls here, if this is a normal position, 3 inches off the left heel, for tee shots it would be more up in here. But for here, my head can set up behind the golf ball, okay? If I start to move the ball back in my stance, now my head is no longer behind the golf ball, it's now in front. So the problem is, as I go to swing, now my head again gets in front of the golf ball and the body has to raise up to get back behind it, and that's where I'll either chunk it or thin it because my body's not pulling up. It's not going through it. So I like to tell people, play all your shots 3 inches off of your left heel, or always in the same position when the ball is not on the ground. For a tee shot, you're going to play a little bit more off your toe to your heel. which is further forward, because we catch it on the upswing anyway. If you're going to hit thousands of golf balls, then you can start to move the golf ball around a little bit. But most amateurs struggle, so please keep the ball in one position so that as you move your weight back and as you move through back into the golf ball, your head's still behind the golf ball, but then moves forward and continuing through. That way the momentum of your body is going in the direction you want it to go. And that'll help you for the other two as well. And finally, the last myth, and I hear this one quite a bit too. And I've said it, I've been told it, but the problem is when people say hit down on the ball. Hitting down on the ball, if this is, my hand is the ground and the ball is lying right here. If I try to get that leading edge right in between the ball and the ground, there's not much margin for error. And that's where people struggle. Because trying to hit down on the golf ball doesn't really make a lot of sense. What you should be doing is striking golf ball, then hitting turf in front. But if you have a putter in your hand, you take the putter back, you brush the grass, strike the golf ball, and the ball rolls. It rolls because the face of the putter is straight up and down. The leading edge and the top edge are the same. So when you strike it, you come in level and you hit it. What would happen if you came down like this with your putter? It would pop up. It would hit the ground and pop up. We don't want to do that. With a putter, you come through like this, you hit it, and you roll it. If I take my club, instead of trying to come in like this, where there's hardly any margin for error, instead I just come through level with this leading edge. The top edge now rests back. If I come through level, club hits ball at a level point in the swing, ball rides up the club face, hits the ramp, and goes up in the air. You don't have to hit the golf ball where you're trying to strike it down or try to lift it. Just try to remain level with the ground so that when you come through the golf ball, your club is bottoming out here, strikes through the golf ball, and then comes up. The more you try to get that club in between the ball, the turf, and everything to pinch that ball, it causes some problems and difficulties. I hope this video makes a little bit more sense than the article that I wrote. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at rob@sgugolf.com. And again, I hope I've been able to help you and give you some clarification, but please stop telling people or stop trying to feel like you need to keep your head down. Please try not to keep your head still. Let it move through the golf ball. Also, play the ball one position for irons, one position for tee shots. And then finally, please stop trying to hit down on the golf ball. Try to go through it so that your body and everything goes in this direction, not backwards, not down. That should help you start making and hitting better golf shots. Good luck, and as always, fairways and greens.